All right, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, SK, Sarah Kirkpatrick. Um, I felt the need to make a video, and I might do this as a series. I have tried to keep my YouTube channel pretty much about Basenji dog, because she is a rescue dog. Was in a kennel in a shelter, and she deserves the best life. We don't know what she went through. She could have had a greater life than what I could give her. But all I know is she was found on the streets of Cleveland in February. I don't know how long she had been out there, and so we're taking a turn because I really, really, really feel the need to speak on some topics. And welcome to America, where you can voice your opinion. And while others can voice theirs regarding your opinion, them trying to invalidate your opinion based on their opinion doesn't mean shit. So first thing I want to address, sorry, I don't have the best equipment here. I'm not a YouTuber. Okay, so trying to adjust this really cheap setup I have here. So I'm going to address today being called an anti-vaxxer. These videos are going to be meant to make you think and maybe ruffle your feathers if you're part of that crowd. What I will say is I am not taking the coronavirus vaccine until there is long-term data. And in some regards, people use the term anti-vaxxer like a slur. You can call me a fag because I'm kind of queer. You can call me a bitch because I am a bitch. You can call me a witch because I am a practicing witch. One label I do have a problem with is anti-vaxxer because I'm not. I have received all my school indoctrination vaccines as required. As a healthcare worker, for those that are going to jump on here and say, this is somebody who doesn't know shit about medicine. I was an EMT for 10 years, and I worked as a medical assistant for, 8 years, and a lab technician for the last year. So I do know medicine. No, I'm not a physician, and no, my advice and my opinions and my ideas does not replace your PCPs. It doesn't. And I am never going to come across that way. But I'm not an anti-vaxxer because I don't want a vaccine that's been around since, as far as my knowledge, October of last year was when the clinical research facility that I was working at as a lab technician got the J&J. Johnson & Johnson, for those of you who aren't maybe so up to date on all of this. So they started administering it then as a clinical trial. And that means we're going to give this to you. You've signed away pretty much all of your rights. From what I remember, the ICF was like 75 pages or some shit. ICF is informed consent form. And basically it said, we're giving this to you. We don't know the side effects, and there's no way to know them because they hadn't been tested in humans, which is why it was a trial. As I was saying before my equipment fell apart, I do have all of my current vaccines other than coronavirus. I'm behind on pneumonia and flu because as a self-employed American, I do not have health insurance. I cannot afford health insurance. And those are vaccines that for some reason I need to pay for. While this coronavirus vaccine is being touted everywhere for free. And the government is compelling you to go and get this. Why? Have you stopped to think about why? Because I know I have. Like I said, I'm up to date as far as, inoculations for other things. I just received a tetanus vaccine about 2 weeks ago, and you can see that purple area there that you guys don't know this, but I know this, was not there. Tetanus is a vaccine that we have long-term data on. I received it. My arm swelled like it never had before. It literally looked like a golf ball was shoved up under my skin, like I had a dermal implant. Not my gig, not something I would do, but it swelled. And it never felt this way before, ever. I've had, a tetanus every 10 years for a long time. And this purple right here is still there. And this is from about 2 weeks ago. And there's still a little like pea-sized hard lump underneath my skin there. And this is from a vaccine that I have had before. And so my biggest thing is I'm not an anti-vaxxer. So don't call me that. I don't identify as a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian, a Green Party, an Independent. I don't identify as any of those. I'm just me. And I don't need labels to define me. But one label I definitely am going to stand up against is being called an anti-vaxxer. I am not. My daughter has received all of her inoculations up to this point as well. We are, both her father and I, and her. My daughter's incredibly intelligent. And at the age of 16, we are discussing Menactra and Trumemba. That'll really depend. She is going to go away to college soon. And that'll depend on the school that she chooses. I know her choice of school and where she wants to go. And if that school, accepts her and it comes back and says she has to have Menactra, Trumemba to go there, then it'll be up to her. Does she want to go there and get those vaccines to go there? Or does she want to look at something else? And a lot of this is, I have so many topics to cover, and I don't want to make these videos long. I don't want to drag anything out, but I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I am someone who is educated. Thank you very much. Comments being open down below on YouTube are going to depend on the comments that are placed there. If it gets nasty, I'll just turn them off. Your opinion is not going to change my opinion. You name calling and belittling and saying it's your choice. Well, it's my choice too. A lot of you people who have been vaccinated seem to think that your way is the right way and it's the only way. And you will, for other things, tout how America is about freedom and freedom of choice, except for this. You think it's okay to ask people if they've had their coronavirus vaccine, but when the fuck have you ever asked me if I had my flu vaccine? You have not. No one. Well, the clinics I've worked in have, because it's healthcare. And predominantly they would offer those in a PCP office to their staff for free. But if you are not willing to do this for everything and toe the line for everything, if you're saying people who choose not to vaccinate their kids are okay to homeschool, that's for everything. It's for the varicella vaccine, it's for the flu vaccine, it's for coronavirus. You cannot pick and choose. All of these things in the right capacity and the right body are deadly. I'm not an anti-vaxxer because I don't want this particular vaccine, because there isn't long-term data, because there isn't enough research, because I don't want it. You being mean, you calling names, you trying to prove your point by being an absolute dick to other people is not proving any points, is not changing anybody's mind. I think that you need to realize that it is your choice to get the vaccine. It is other people's choice to not get the vaccine. And if you don't want to live in the world with people who choose not to, don't. You have that choice too. This is about freedom, freedom of choices. Choose to get the vaccine? Cool. You want to change your Facebook profile to say, I got the vaccine? Do it. Don't penalize others who have illegitimate reason as to why they would not want a vaccine. And you are not their doctor. You don't get to tell them that their reason is illegitimate. I am someone who has asthma. And I am someone who has asthma so severely that my doctors have recommended a flu vaccine for every year, every season, and pneumonia every 5 years. Because both of those things can kill me. So can coronavirus. So can going out and driving my car today. If you want to live in fear, do so. But don't think others have to live in fear too. I don't go into every flu season going, well, this is a year I'm going to fucking die. No. If I have insurance or if the place I work for offers the vaccine for free, I take it. I haven't had the flu vaccine in several years because I don't have the extra money to spend on it. I don't have insurance. And it isn't free. Why is the flu vaccine not free and the coronavirus vaccine is? Flu was a pandemic also. I'm not open to arguments. I'm not open to anyone getting on their little step stool and foot, soapbox and trying to change my mind. You are not going to change my mind. This vaccine has been approved for emergency use. It's an EUA. It is not FDA approved. And so many of you do not understand that there is a difference, and so many of you will not recognize that those two things are not the same. And so while you're boasting this coronavirus vaccine this year, what about next year when it becomes free market and the pharmaceutical companies can produce their own and you can be charged for it? And now all the people that got it this year can't get it because it's not free anymore. What are you going to do? What are you doing to make a change in this? Nothing. You're being a dick. You think you can shout at people and you think you can call them names and you think you have some right all of a sudden. Like, as an EMT, we called them paragods, paramedics who thought they were God because of life and death and they got to decide who lived and died and all this shit. It gave you a God complex, which as an atheist, I do not believe in any God. There's like 560,000 known and named gods. I don't pick one. I pick none. Okay. So, please don't say you'll pray for me either. By the way, if I see that in the comments, I'll probably just delete it because, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can if that's your choice. If that's your choice. But I don't feel like you praying for me would do anything. Certainly not going to change my mind to being open to this vaccine that I don't want. But my big soapbox here today was stop calling people anti-vaxxers. You don't know their vaccination history, and you have no right to know it, by the way. My next video is going to cover the people I call smart vaxxers, or the people who took the coronavirus vaccine and at least are intelligent enough to admit some truths about it. And that's going to be the next one. But this one, I did kind of go off topic because I'm not working with a script here. I'm not working with professional lighting, professional equipment. This is just my cell phone. I just wanted to say, stop calling people anti-vaxxers. You don't know that they are. You don't know that they haven't had every single other inoculation that is required of them up until this. You don't know, and you have no right to know. Freedom of choice goes both ways. You choose to get the vaccine, cool. You choose not to get the vaccine, also cool. Like, there is no, I'm going to pressure you either way. I'm just saying for my own personal being, which I'm allowed to make these choices as an American citizen, naturally born American citizen, very proud of that. I love my country. I love the fact that freedom was one of the things that people came to a new land to give others. You're going to grow up free and make your own choices, and that's cool. I don't know if that was the exact language used by the founding fathers, but fuck. Leave people alone. Seriously, leave people alone. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. How about that? What happened to that? That was one of the golden rules or whatever. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Trust me, I have bit my tongue in a lot of situations. A lot of situations. And I'm a very vocal and outspoken person, especially when I feel there's wrong being done. So bite your tongue. Remember one of the golden rules. Don't say anything if you don't have anything nice to say. And stop. Freedom of choice goes both ways. Your choice to get the vaccine does not negate someone else's choice to not. Stop calling people who choose not to get this one vaccine anti-vaxxers. And just so you know, I'm not 100% against it, by the way. I would like long-term data. However, if they told me that certain circumstances apply to get on an airplane, any airplane, I'm not just talking certain airlines. If they said to ever get on a plane again for domestic travel within the United States, you have to have this vaccine, I would do it. I love flying. I love traveling. If they said, Sarah, to go see your daughter or go see your friends that live in Cleveland, you need to have this vaccine, I would do it. If they said you cannot get on this airplane without, and that was all airlines, not just Delta, not just American, not just Virgin, not just particular, but this became a sweep across the board. You have to have this to get on any airplane. I would do it because I want to see my friends and I want to travel. I want to see my family. Not a lot of them, but it's out there. So let's let the people that want to wait for long-term data wait for long-term data. Let's give them time to make up their opinions, make up their minds. Like I said, my mind is made up. No, I will not take it on a voluntary process, which basically means I'm being forced to do something. Being forced to do something in America. Doesn't that sound wrong to you? Sarah, to get on an airplane and see your friends, you have to take this vaccine. That being the only way I would do it is forcing my hand, is taking that choice away from me. So tomorrow, because I need to get to work, I'm just kidding, I'm self-employed. I work for myself. I can go to work whenever I want. Tomorrow's video, we're going to talk about what I call smart vaxxers. Hopefully I'll stay a little more on topic. The video will be a little shorter, but I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm anti this vaccine at this moment.